attention we paid to our worries and concerns remain the same. In the next few years, we will be talking about communities, not Nigeria.
How do you mean we're talking about communities, not Nigeria? Because we are still looking at the Nigerian project of corporate Nigeria.
With all sincerity, I was a member of the Vision 2020, and I served in the Judiciary and the Rule of Law Committee. Justice Bilgore retired was the chairman. And about 21, 28 of us at different times agreed on this. That there was a time in the history of this country that everybody in the community knew themselves. They know the work you are doing. They can even predict when you are going to buy your bicycle. They can predict when you will complete your building based on what you are doing. Everybody has an idea of your likely income, and gradually things faded away to the state that today, even if you are in public service and you are in level 7, it's not a shock to anyone if you drive to your office in a limousine. They will just say your time has come.
Yes, time has come.
You're right.
But now, Comrade Shegwabi, I want your reaction to this. You have a sporting world, a level 7 officer in the service suddenly just drives in with a limousine. No, the craze now is the Jeep, okay? Exactly. And they'll just say, yes, his time
right.
or her time has come. And we know there's this common saying, you wait for the time. Maybe is it true to have said that? How do we relate that to this common thing?
Right, thank you very much. You see, nothing actually that happens happens in isolation. We need to trace the history back. Where did you get it wrong? Where did it start from? If we look at a situation, Nigeria at 49, what can we say is the achievement of Nigeria at 49? Are Nigerians happy about what they're getting right now? Could we actually say that we sleep with both eyes closed, sound in our houses today in this country, without sleeping with one eye shut or one eye open? With the situation, how many people have access to employment? Education is in a state of comatose. Where did we get it wrong? We look at the situation right from 1960. After the advent of the British, when the colonial masters, when they left, we now come back to the First Republic, before the military coup actually came to place, and the whole military era started, and the khaki boys, so-called, actually came into the situation. And I feel the situation that we have in Nigeria is an invention of the military. Looking at the Second Republic, that was the only sane sort of politicians we can actually say we have in Nigeria as at that time, because I'm a living witness to it, and I know how and when there was a little bit of accountability as at that time. We look at the Jakon days of those eras, the Lamadishinas in Oyo State, and the Bola Gates. Those are the people that have the love of this country. Those are the people that wanted to move that country forward. These are the people that foresaw that education is the most important tool. Without any education, I don't know what nation is going to move forward. They declared free education at all levels. And any country that is giving its citizens a free level of education, then you could know that the situation of that sort of country or the sort of leader has the love. But a situation after the 1983 coup, and the Buharis, which was a little bit saner compared to the Babangida that came in, they bastardized the whole economy. They turned the political era into a monetization, whereby the love of money was the forefront, and the other issues in terms of.
So that is why a level 7 can now come with a jeep, or even a corporal or a sergeant in the army can come with a limousine.
Exactly.
And you say the time has come. Now, Comrade Loremika, let's ask, is it that our leaders really don't know what to do? Or is it that there is a spirit, once they get to that seat of power, there is that spirit that kind of changes their direction? Because we know that before they get there, these are men, ordinary. For example, Mr. President today, we know, was once a lecturer in one of the Nigerian universities, even the Vice President, and even the Minister for Education. And today the issue of ASU it's like nothing to them. Is it that they are not just getting it out, they just don't want to care? Or there's something behind that seat of power when you are in power, you just don't want to see things objectively, to kind of have this thing misdirected. I don't know, but maybe you can tell us.
Actually, it depends on the school of thought you belong to. Man by nature is greedy, but what takes that greedy disposition away from you has a lot of interplays, and some of them today are called institutions. And one of the institutions is the courts. You have the police, you have the church, as Mr. Ali said, you have the educational sector. If the education you are giving your citizens, he points to the fact that you cannot accumulate all resources belonging to the society. That's a checkmate on it. If you are in a classroom and you have the habit of stealing the food brought by your mates and there is no sanction, you do more. You will steal from your teacher. Mr. Ali mentioned First Republic, Second Republic. Let's just talk about Mobolaji Johnson. He's still alive. He was the governor of Lagos State. I doubt it. I'm not doubting it, but I want Lagosians to come and expose him. They should come and tell us his worth. What is the worth of Mobolaji Johnson? Quiet living? Perhaps he has been living in the neighborhood in Lagos for the past 3 decades. There's nothing extraordinary in his house. If you drive past his house, if you have not told this the resident of a former governor of Lagos State, you will never know it. The same thing with Alhaji Lateef Jakonde. He was the governor of this state. He lived in his private house while serving. He used his personal car while on seats. But what's happening today? Just drive past Okota, from Mile 2 going to Okota. By your left, you see a very beautiful estate there. It belongs to the former governor, one of the former governors of this state, a military brass. And when he was in office, under the pretense of the Land Use Act, they acquired the place, they allocated it. Today, on paper, that property belongs to your wife. If meeting of the residents association is holding, the general is in the midst of the residents. And you then ask yourself, what are you doing with this? I thought by now we should have learned that resources or capital accumulated through fraudulent means. If you sustain it, your children may not. And you can see what is happening. We used to hear Darosha. My mother told me that one of the richest persons in Nigeria or in Lagos was Darosha. Do you hear of them again? It's a generational thing. If you mess up, the society will pay you back. So many industries are collapsing because the source of the creation is also fraudulent. And today, we mentioned Ford. Ford is a family. We mentioned Suzuki. Suzuki is a family. They are more patriotic. If you see product from Indonesia, you'll be surprised that it's a third world country. If you see product from Nigeria, you will not be surprised that it's coming from Nigeria.
So is it that we're not getting it right? And how do we get it right? Comrade Sheldon.
I think the most important thing is that we need to look at the social orientation and the mindsets. That's the major problem we have in this country.
Social orientation and the mindset. How do you mean?
The mindset is a situation that we all believe everybody has this get-rich-quick syndrome. We all want to live above the means. Nobody wants to crawl before they walk. And the situation is, they're so imbibed that they look at the situation that it's a get-rich-quick situation. So it's not a situation that people, citizens, want to take their time to feel they have to work hard. And after working hard, what comes after it is something that you could benefit from it. But now, we look at the situation, everybody wants to ride the fat cars, wants to do this thing, and I don't blame a lot of people. It's the sort of leaders that begets the sort of people. It's the leader is the kind of people that projects what kind of citizen. When the leaders go there and actually accumulate, acquire, and loot the treasury, they know a person who before became a politician as a leader, where he was living. 4 years later, we know what he could do. None of his kids live in this country. The opportunity, the life he's never lived in his life, he's living it. Obviously, everybody will want to aspire to the situation. He talked about Alhaji Lateef Jakande, 6 Bishop Street. Everybody knows the place. That's where he lives. That's where he still is. And today we know what he would have acquired. If those kind of people that have those sort of orientation are the sort of people that are leading us today, Nigeria would have been a different country we're talking about today. We need a change. And change is the only thing that is constant in life. It's only change. We cannot continue with the situation of what is going in this country today. At this rate, with another 49 years or less than that, I would see Nigeria probably extincted out of the map, or we are in a state of anarchy. Look at what's going on in the Niger Delta. The people are agitating for development. The whole revenue that Nigeria, the looting and everything, comes from the places. If we watch a clips about what is happening in Niger Delta, you'll be so sorry for the people that live in that place. There's gas flaring, pollution of the places, and there's no single development within that area. What kind of leaders are we talking about?
Okay, what kind of leaders are we talking about? What kind of leaders are we talking about? Basically, gentlemen, if we are to look at this issue, I would have want us to take it from a primordial perspective. Look at it from the social angle, look at it from the political angle, we look at it from the economic angle. But let's just say we are mixing all together as it is. Now, economically, where do we place? Would you say that we have chances of surviving over time with policies put in place by government to kind of make Nigeria better than what it is? What would you say, Comrade?
Economically, I feel very worried because for me personally, the first phase of it is nationally. What is our policy on science and tech? It's almost zero. What is our budget allocation to science and tech? It's almost nil. And everywhere in the world, people are moving. Some 1.5 decades ago, you can hardly find a Chinese car anywhere in the world on the road. The Chinese were irrelevant in automobile. Today, they are becoming one of the fast-growing countries promoting production of cars. On the streets of Lagos, I can't count the number of times I've seen Chinese cars. Look at the Indians. 25 years ago, they were one of the poorest countries in the world. They are doing very well now. In terms of computer, information technology, they are one of the leading. In terms of production of cars, I don't need to tell you, Tata Motors is already in Nigeria. You can see the buses, you can see the car. And the cars are solid. Look at what the Chinese have done. There is no household in the world, including Nigeria, that does not have a Chinese product. If you don't have a lantern, you have a generator. If you don't have any of those China's plates, they are from Chinese. Many of the phones we are using today are from China and the prices are low. What is our own concern as a nation? What is our strategy to catch up? If we continue this way, if we continue to crawl along this path, I'm telling you, we'll be many centuries behind. Many centuries behind. I don't want to talk about United States of America. I don't want to talk of United Kingdom. Let's just talk about countries in the West Coast. Go to the Republic of Benin. Go to Togo. Go to Ghana. Go to Gambia. Go to Senegal. Life is moving. We are stagnant here. Look at our policemen. Look at our security men. There is hardly any month that you will not be told about extrajudicial killings. Look at the mess in the AFCC. How many convictions have we got since the new phase of the AFCC? How many convictions? So it's like you are telling those in office now, stop whatever you can stop. The worst that will happen is that you will be charged to court, you will be granted court bail when you have a son to defend you, and the matter will rest there. In other countries, the judiciary is proactive. You know that when you are caught, within 18 to 24 months, you are gone. Your matter is resolved one way or the other. In Nigeria, it's perpetual hearing, injunction. So you make mockery Parents encourage their children. Still, this is the opportunity. The worst that will happen. Thank God Ganifa Ami is dead. You get a son. And the lawyers don't care. Well, whoever brings the brief to take, they know it's million. There's no shame that I don't want to identify with this fellow. I was hearing a religious priest this morning while driving down here. He said in those days, if the colonial police arrested, everybody will know the cell they are keeping you. It will be publicized. That's so when you come back home, it's a shame. Yeah. People don't care about being charged to Federal High Court for corruption and whatever. And even if you go to Kirikiri prison, sometimes they bring designer shirts to you there as an inmate. You drink the finest wine. So when you are out, there is no shame. All you just have is change of address from Magodo, from Lekki Phase 1 to Kirikiri. 3 weeks after you are back.
Shagwali, I'm worried and I feel sad in my heart if this is what we can boast of at 49 in this country. To you, let's look at the fact that the political structure as it is. Is it that politically we cannot allow these machineries of economic drive to make us relevant in the Committee of Nations?
Thank you. The joke of the century in this country is 2020. Every time I hear that word, Vision 2020, it's like the set of people who sat down somewhere on the hilltop and just created that model and felt Nigerians are some set of docile people that they could just ping pong and play up on their minds. What Committee of Nations would they want to be a 2020 with no light? Economic sector, zero. Agriculture, manufacturing sector. What nation have you ever seen? I mean, it's just the history is there. Everybody could go on the internet. See what are we producing in this country. We're talking that we're just joking. Ordinary light, we cannot boast of it. 6,000 megawatts. One moment we have 6,000, the next moment we don't have it. $16 billion down the drain. Okay, we're going to have 6,000 megawatts, but the light is not going to be available there. So why give you like 1 step forward, 3 steps backwards? That's what I say about Nigeria. We take 1 step forward, then 3 steps backward.
Okay.
ẹ ṣe gan ni gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ ti ń gbọ́ wa ní ibikíbi tí ẹ bá ti ń gbọ́ báyìí nípa àárọ̀ yìí ọ̀rọ̀ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà náà la fi sọ nítorí pé tabaníkà wò ó mo ní ó mọ̀ tó ti dín ní 49 yẹn 50 years 49 tí bá ti yẹ kókó bẹ́ẹ̀ 50 ló kù kí ni táwa ń sọ ó náà ní wípé orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà wọ́n ní òmíràn tí ó jẹ́ wípé ó ń ra ni at 49 orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà òmíràn tí ó ń ra òmíràn tó ga gogoro ṣùgbọ́n tó ṣe ń ra kóòrò lórílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ọ̀gbẹ́ni Ṣínà Lórẹ̀mí kan kí lẹ fẹ́ ká ṣe bó o ní a ti fẹ́ tẹ̀síwájú.
Ohun tó ń dùn gbogbo wa náà ni torí nígbà táwọn bàbá wa sọ pé àwọn fẹ́ jà fún òmìnira yìí kí gbogbo wa dùn àwa ń rí báyìí kan pé òmìnira yìí ti ń di ìnira fún wa. Ní ọ̀pọ̀ ilé ni a mọ̀ ìkọ́pá àti rí omi yẹn láti fi mu ó ti di ìṣòro. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ohun tí ò kan ìjọba ni wọ́n ń náwó sí bíi typhoid tí ó bá jẹ́ pé omi gidi là ń mu ọ̀rọ̀ typhoid ló wáyé. Ṣùgbọ́n ní orílẹ̀-èdè ilé ni omi jẹ́ ìṣòro fún ọkùnrin ó jẹ́ ìṣòro fún obìnrin ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìyàwó ilé ní èjìká wọn ti yẹ̀ nítorí wọ́n lọ ń pọnmi ẹlòmíì wọ́n ti gba ìyàwó ẹ̀ nídìí odò àwọn nǹkan tí ò sí ní àwọn ìlú mímu kẹ́ẹ̀ṣí ẹ̀rọ omi máa yọ nílùú mi ṣùgbọ́n ohun tó wà bẹ́ẹ̀ ni pé a máa wí a máa sọ a máa ṣàlàyé fúnra wa àwa náà la máa gbára wa nínú oko ẹrú tá a ti bára wa èèyàn kọ́kọ́ ò lè wá láti ìlú mi kọ́ wa bá a ṣe máa bọ́ nínú oko ẹrú náà ọkùnrin obìnrin ọmọdé àgbà òṣèlú ọ̀jẹ̀lú gbogbo wa lájọ máa jókòó la máa jọ sọ bí èèyàn kan bá kó gbogbo owó tó wà nílùú yìí kó kó pamọ́ kò lè tó náà tó bá dẹ̀ ń ná níbo ló fẹ́ lọ nígbà táwa wà ń kékeré àwọn bàbá wa máa ń gbé wa ṣeré láti Ìkòyí lọ síbi irú Sùúrùlérè tá a bá ń lọ báyìí nínú mọ́tò a máa ka iná ìkíní ìkejì ìkẹta ìkarùn inú wa máa dùn nísìnyí ẹni tí ó bá rorí ẹ̀ jinlẹ̀ ló máa gbé àwọn ọmọ ẹ̀ lòun àti ìyàwó àtọmọ máa kúrò nílé láago 9 aago 10 kọ́kọ́ àwọn fẹ́ lọ ṣe fàájì lálẹ́ tí táyà yín bá ṣe fẹ̀rẹ̀ sí kọ̀ọ̀sìn táwọn àbúrò mi bá dé wọ́n bá ṣe fún yín 40 báyìí ìfàṣẹ bá ní pé kò sí nǹkan kan lọ́wọ́ yín wàhálà bọ́n rí gbà ogun tó kí ni kò sẹ́ tó ń jáde ńlé ó tún wà lára nǹkan tó yẹ kó ń dá wàhálà lẹ̀ nígbà míì tí ọkọ àti ìyàwó tí ọ̀rọ̀ bá le ìyàwó á di ọkọ ń bò ní jáde lé nítorí kò sí nǹkan tó máa fílẹ̀ kò sí iye tẹ́fẹ́ fílẹ̀ tó máa tó ní èmi o mo dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ ìyàwó mi ojoojúmọ́ ayé ìmọ̀ǹjẹ́ ló kù bí n fowó ọbẹ̀ ẹ̀lẹ̀ tán bá máa lọ tán bá máa dé wá ní kò bí ní kán bá mẹ́ra aṣọ fún àwọn ọmọ skul tán bá máa lọ tán máa bọ̀ kò tó bá bẹ́ sanwó lẹ́sìn oṣooṣù ní tíṣà ń bọ́ kan lẹ́sìn kò dẹ̀ tún ní wá tó bá tábàjọ náà déhùn pé kó máa wá lẹ́ẹ̀mẹrin lọ́sẹ̀ ẹ̀ẹ̀mejì lẹ́ máa rí tẹ́ bá ní kí ló dé anára bàbá òun ò yá òun lọ wò lọ́sítù máa ìwọ ni dókítà ni aná ní kó òun mówó wá bọ́ọ̀lù owó wọn ní títẹ̀ ṣé a máa ní kó máa lọ wo bàbá ẹ̀ tó gbogbo ẹ ti wọnú ara bàbá gbé mọ́tò lọ fún mẹkáníìkì tẹ́ bá ní klọ́ọ̀ṣì lẹ́fẹ́ ṣe mẹkáníìkì àfọkàn kàpírítọ̀ tẹ́ bá gbé táyà lọ fún fọ̀gánáìsà tẹ́ bá dúró tó bá jẹ́ ojú kan ló ti gbéṣù alójú méjì bẹ́ẹ̀ gbá aṣọ fún dry cleaner tó bá ti ń wà fóyín tí ẹ̀ ń gbàgbé ṣéǹjì bẹ́ẹ̀ ló máa ṣe fọṣọ yín ẹ̀rí kọ́kọ́ ti bomi ó kọ̀ yọ ni.
bàbá wa lóore kíkọ ẹ ṣe nǹkan tó ní mo rí pé ọ̀rọ̀ pọ̀ nínú yín ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ ọ̀gbẹ́ni Ṣínà Àlì ẹ jọ ọ̀gbẹ́ni ẹ̀bí Ṣẹ́gun Àlì ẹ̀mọ̀ níbi ìṣínà bíi Ṣẹ́gun náà ni àdúpẹ́ nítàárọ̀ ìkọ́lọ̀ ìṣínà fún wa lóde Nàìjíríà kó sì wá ṣe ogun náà kó ṣe délẹ̀dílẹ̀ ọ̀gbẹ́ni Ṣẹ́gun Àlì ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ṣẹ́yìn gbà wípé orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà yìí wọ́n ní òmíràn tí ó ṣì ń rákò níṣẹ́ ìgbà bẹ́ẹ̀ nínú gbogbo ọrọ̀ ajé ni ọ̀rọ̀ òṣèlú ni ọ̀rọ̀ iléèwé ni ọ̀rọ̀ gbogbo ohun tí wọ́n ti ń sápá jùlọ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ ilé tí a mọ̀ sí ọrọ̀ ajé gangan lórílẹ̀‐èdè Nàìjíríà tẹ́ pé ó tẹ̀ tí wá dá nǹkan lẹ̀ ṣe gbà bẹ́ẹ̀ wípé òmíràn wa lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí ó ṣì ń rákò at 49.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni ẹ kò parọ́ ó ṣe rí gan-an náà lẹ́sọ̀ ẹ̀ a ṣì ń rà ní ó dàbí ọmọdé ta bílẹ̀dì tó fi 49 years tó fi ń rà.
ikú dé fún ìyá àti bàbá ẹ̀ wàhálà dé.
kí ni ó fà á ó ní àwọn tí mo ti sọ tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀ èdè Gẹ̀ẹ́sì pé ọkàn wa bí a ṣe ń rò wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ pa àwọn mẹkáníìkì lóòótọ́ èmi gan ó ṣẹlẹ̀ sí mi níbi ọ̀sẹ̀ kan sẹ́yìn ọ̀tọ̀ ní tá a máa sọ pé a fẹ́ ṣe ọ̀tọ̀ ní tó máa ṣẹlẹ̀ torí kí ni torí pé a fẹ́ owó òjijì
àti jẹ
owó òjijì tá a fẹ́ kí ló dẹ̀ fà á ọ̀rọ̀ àwọn tó jẹ́ àwọn aṣáájú wa nítorí tí ń ṣe òun náà ló máa jẹ́ kí àwọn tó ń bọ̀ lẹ́yìn náà tí a bá ní àwọn èèyàn tó jẹ́ pé tó ń lọ wájú wa tó jẹ́ pé ó ní ètò wọn yẹn ń ṣe pé bá ṣe máa ṣe nǹkan rèé ètò ọ̀rọ̀ ìlú bẹ́yàn ṣe máa ríṣẹ́ bẹ́yàn ṣe máa ṣe gbó àwọn tó ń sọ pé èèyàn ń lọ lóòótọ́ ni ẹni tébi ń pa ẹni tí ò tí jẹun ẹ wá lóògùn mọ́tò fẹ̀rẹ̀gẹ̀ táyà lọlẹ̀.
àti wá àtọmọ àtìyàwó.
kí ló máa ṣẹlẹ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ nítorí ṣẹlẹ̀ ní ọ̀tọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ ìlú òun náà ní tá à ń tọ́ láti sọ sí pé àwọn nǹkan tó lè ṣẹlẹ̀ tí àwọn nǹkan yìí tó lè fi yí padà ni pé a ní láti ní àwọn aṣáájú tó jẹ́ pé ó máa yí padà tó jẹ́ pé tá a bá ń wo tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ sí à á wo gómìnà wa ọ̀gbẹ́ni Babátúndé Rájí Fáṣọlá àwọn ètò ìdàgbàsókè tó ń ṣe ẹ mọ̀ yìí pé kì í ṣe àwọn ọ̀jẹ̀lú èèyàn tó ní ìdàgbàsókè lọ́kàn pé ètò ọ̀rọ̀ ìlú gbogbo títì wọ́n ṣe ń tún títì ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ pé mọ́tò àwọn táxi nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn n tó tẹ̀kì bíi 49 years láti dàrú ọdún méjì péré lóòótọ́ kò lè fi ọdún méjì tún nǹkan tó ti bàjẹ́ fún bíi over 49 years díẹ̀díẹ̀ náà ni òun àwọn tí ètò bí òun ṣe ń ṣe tí àwọn other government tó wà ní bóyá bíi federal àbí other state táwọn náà bá ń wo irú nǹkan tó òun ṣe bó ṣe ń jókòó tó ń ronú bó ṣe máa kó èèyàn wá tó máa tún nǹkan ṣe téèyàn bá wo Oṣòdì lẹ́yìn kì í ṣe bí Oṣòdì ṣe ti wà tẹ́lẹ̀ tó tẹ́ gbogbo wa lọ́rùn ó ti yí padà.
Okay, gentlemen, let's just take some calls at this point. We want our viewers to please contribute to what we're talking about. So the number to call is 439-3139. 439-3139. And if you're calling outside Lagos, just add 01-439-3139 and you'll be talking to us in the studio. My guest on my right is Comrade Chino Lorebiko of Zero Corruption Coalition. And while on my extreme left is Comrade Shegun Ali, a public affair analyst. And together we're taking a look at corporate Nigeria at 49. Which way are we there? What are we doing wrong? How do we ensure that we make this country better for it at 50 by His grace?
Fẹ́mi jẹ́ ìpadà sọ́dọ̀ ọba wa Ṣínà Lórímìkan. Ṣé ká sọ yí pé ìfẹ́ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí ó ní òsí ní ọkàn àwọn olórí wa? Bóyá tí Ọlọ́run bá bá wa dá ìfẹ́ wa padà sí wọn lọ́kàn bá ṣe yàn wọ́n, bóyá wọ́n á ṣe jẹ́ iṣẹ́ gidi lórílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà yìí. Bóyá àjẹtẹ̀síwájú.
Irú èmi báyìí, ó ti lé ní 20 ọdún tèmi àti àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ mi tá ti máa ń jókòó tá máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ Nàìjíríà. Nínú wọn Ọlọ́run bá wa fọ̀run kẹ́ wọn, Àlàó Àkàbàṣọ̀ wọn wà ńbẹ̀, bẹ́ẹ̀ Corazon Kuti ó wà ńbẹ̀, Chima Obani ó wà ńbẹ̀, Dr. Bala Mohammed ó wà ńbẹ̀, Yorùbá wà láàrin wọn bí n ṣe dárúkọ ẹ ti gbórúkọ wọn.
We understand that as a call.
Thank you very much.
Hello. Good morning, our caller. Hello, good morning. Oh, we lost them.
Ẹ ti gbórúkọ wọn, àwọn ọ̀rẹ́ mi nìyẹn tán ti ṣaláìsí kọ́lọ́n fún òun kẹwọn. Ní gbogbo ìgbà tá a bá jókòó tá a bá ti sọ, a ní kò sífẹ̀ẹ́. Lóòótọ́ ló wà nínú Bíbélì àti nínú Quran wípé nífẹ̀ẹ́ ọmọ ẹnìkejì bí ara rẹ̀. Pé tó bá fẹ́ rí ojú rere àti ìyọ́nú Ọlọ́run, máa ṣe ìfẹ́ tí Ọlọ́run ní pé ká ṣàánú. Èmi ò ráàánú tí àwọn tó wà ní ìjọba Nàìjíríà tí wọ́n ń ṣe. Bí tí òṣèlú kan ṣe sọ ní Ìbàdàn, òun náà ti kú báyìí, Adélakùn. Oníṣẹ́ wishes people ní kọ́ máa ṣe ọ̀nà òkè Ògùn. Is it the wishes of the people? Ṣé wàá nu constitution Nàìjíríà bẹ́ẹ̀?
Hello, good morning. Sorry, let me cut you there. Good morning. Hello, good morning. We can hear you. Please, can you talk to us? Hello?
Hello.
Yes, good morning. Ekaro.
Hello.
Please talk.
Go ahead,
Speak to us.
please.
We can hear you.
Thank
Yes,
you.
go
What's
ahead.
your name? Ó jà ẹ bá wa sọ ní kíákíá yín. Ẹ máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ́wọ́ ẹ ṣe ń sọ yẹn.
À ń gbọ́ yín, à ń gbọ́ yín.
À ń gbọ́ owó òjijì. Ló ká. Wọ́n ṣàfi sí i. Thank you very much.
Well, you on the call.
Mo ń sọ kọ́ pé bí ìwé Quran àti Bible ṣe wí, à ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀. Gbogbo àdé ń kà. Ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì tó wà Nàìjíríà lé mi, ó ju ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì tó wà Nàìjíríà 15 years ago lọ. Street tí ò bá ní church àbí mọ́ṣáláṣí, á jẹ́ wọ́n pé kò tí ì séyàn ní street yẹn. Bẹ́ẹ̀ bá ń lọ láti ọ̀nà Èkó lọ sí Ìbàdàn, lọ́wọ́ ọ̀tún, lọ́wọ́ òsì, inú ò lè sọ iye church tẹ máa kà. Ṣùgbọ́n gbogbo bá a ṣe ń lọ ṣọ́ọ̀ṣì àfi wùwà. Ìlú kan jọ èmi lójú, mo ti dárúkọ ìlú yẹn lẹ́ẹ̀kan, Indonesia. Gbogbo nǹkan tá a ní Nàìjíríà náà ní. Bá a ṣe pọ̀ báyìí, tọ́nà lé ní 140 million, bẹ́ẹ̀ làwọn náà ṣe lé ní 140 million. Bí tí omi ṣe yí wa ká báyìí, bẹ́ẹ̀ lómi yí àwọn náà kà. Ṣùgbọ́n àwọn olórí wọn, wọ́n ń jí owó kọ́kọ́ lọ sí òkè òkun. Ìlú wọn bẹ̀ iléeṣẹ́ wà, mọ́tò wà, gbogbo ọ̀nà wà, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n ń ṣe. Níbi ìbáyìí kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀. Èmi ò mọ̀ bóyá gómìnà Fáṣọlá ń ṣe dáadáa, ṣùgbọ́n mo ṣàríkọ́ fọ́ pé tá a bá gba ibòmí kọjá lọ́wọ́ àrọ̀ báyìí, Julius Berger máa ṣiṣẹ́ ni. Àwọn Chinese company kan wà bí ẹ̀rọ pé mi ní pr wọn ọ̀nà kọ́ta àwọn náà ṣe ọ̀nà ìlàsà tó ń ṣe bridge àwọn ló ń ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ ni màmá òkọ́ pé Chinese nílẹ̀ yìí gbogbo wọn ní Fáṣọlá kó wá a ṣe investigation tó ní zero corruption mọ Bọ́lájí Bank Anthony company tó ń rọ̀nù street light ibẹ̀ tó ń tàn lálálẹ́ àti Calabar náà ti wá tó bá ti níṣẹ́ gidi ṣe tó níṣẹ́ mẹ́lẹ́ òun á fún iṣẹ́ tábà lọ sí other southwest states èmi southwest coordinator zero corruption ni àárín kankan tẹ máa fi gbogbo Ìbàdàn já sí Òṣogbo tẹ máa fi dé àdà tẹ máa fi lọ́kẹ́ nírí ìkankan tẹ bá máa rí èèyàn kan ló ń kọ́lé ara rẹ̀ àríṣẹ́ kan pàtó ká máa sọ pé iṣẹ́ ìjọba ni nígbà ibi tí Fáṣọlá ṣe dé àyè gbà wọ́n á tún fi signboard sí iṣẹ́ tó yìí fẹ́ ṣe wọ́n ti ń fi fọ́tò ẹ̀wọ̀n wá bọ́n ṣe ń ṣe ìlú èbó nìyẹn old time new time àwọn èèyàn tún lọ béèrè pé èèlò ni èèlò ló fẹ́ ṣe wọ́n ní owó yẹn ti pọ̀ jù pé kán dé owó yẹn kù wọ́n tún gbé yẹ̀wò ní Nàìjíríà a ní 7-point agenda ó ń dùn àwọn agbóngbà tá a wà l'Ábùjá fún bí oṣù bíi mẹ́ta pé ẹ rọra máa ṣe ìlú yá bẹ́ẹ̀ tó bá ń bẹ́ kò ní sí ìrọ̀rùn fún yẹn kankan nígbà míì tá a bá ń lọ Àbújá yẹn ọ̀tọ̀ ní iye tá a máa wọ pléènì lọ ọ̀tọ̀ ní iye tá a máa wọ tó bá sọ wípé plane máa gbéra láago 2 àwa máa sáré pàgọ́ lọ ṣe pàdé aago 4 ayé lè wà lójú kan.
bàbá wa ìṣègùn táwọn yóò máa sọ̀rọ̀ lọ iná rí wípé ọ̀rọ̀ pọ̀ síkùn ṣùgbọ́n kí ààyè ni ò dàbẹ̀ ni pé kò fi bẹ́ẹ̀ tí ó ní ti ẹjọ́ ti tèmi ṣe gan ni orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà ò ní bàjẹ́ wọ́n ní ìfẹ́ òun náà ní kádà padà àbí kí lẹ ti rí ìfẹ́ ní kádà padà sí orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà àwọn olórí wa wọn tó bá ní ìfẹ́ wa lọ́kàn ní tí a yàn wọ́n fún náà ni wọ́n á lọ ṣe wọ́n ní wọ́n ní ṣe nǹkan míì fẹ́ mi.
Yes, so we want to do another thing outside. With the fear of God, they should be objective. Gentlemen, thank you very much for being here today. Comrade Miko, Zero Corruption Coalition, and Comrade Shegun Ali, Public Affairs Analyst. Thank you so much. Well, he said it. Continue to say, continue to raise issues. We hope the leaders will also get it right to address them. God helping us, Nigeria shall be better. We shall all still smile in this country by His grace. Nigeria na my country, I no go lie. Now inside them I go live and die. When you touch me so, I push am so.
So I no go. It shall be well. It shall be well. Until next week, same time. We wish you a lovely Sunday.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni mo sọ fún yín báyìí wípé ìfẹ́ òun náà nìkan ni a lè lò lórílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà tó lè jẹ́ kí gbogbo wa kó ní ìlọsíwájú rere. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wọ́n ní òdodo báyìí ló sì ń gbé orílẹ̀-èdè lékè bó o bá ti ń ṣe tẹ́lẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ni máa ṣòdodo lénìí nítorí kí Nàìjíríà kó bá lè tẹ̀síwájú ọjọ́ ọ̀la rẹ yóò sì dára.